Godfrey Bloom, 2 minutes.
Well, Mr. President, I've been here 6.5 years, and by goodness me, I've heard some nonsense, but I haven't heard so much nonsense spoken as I've heard today. Many years ago, I used to lecture on this subject at Cambridge University, and I would suggest that you would do well to read some of my old lecture notes. None of you, it appears, seems to understand the concept of international money. Herr BROK started, who hasn't come off the phone actually since he came in, only to listen to himself, was rather interestingly started off this debate by suggesting it was a great success, the euro. One wonders what planet Herr BROK lives on. Dear oh dear. It's a complete disaster. If he thinks it's such a success, I would argue he speaks to the millions of unemployed people, youngsters mainly in the Iberian Peninsula, southern Italy and the rest of Europe, who are suffering from this disgraceful, fraudulent and deceitful currency which was crammed down the throats of the people of Europe against their will. There is no mandate, Mr. Duff. There is no mandate with your blue card hanging up there. Let me tell you, there is no mandate for this. The British people haven't been given a vote on this whole shebang of European Union. Neither has anybody else. There's only one way, and if you understood international money to any degree, you would understand that the only way it can survive this ridiculous currency across many different economies against a whole background of failed ideals, and that is for a financial central statist fiscal policy. And if you think you have a mandate for that, you are a disgrace and a scoundrel.
Mr. Duff has a question for you, Mr. Bloom. Mr. Bloom, would you answer Mr. Duff's question?
Most delighted.
Bene.
To ask Mr. Bloom just how his diatribe was received at Cambridge. I cannot imagine an economics class tolerating such fatuous and intemperate nonsense. I'd also like to ask him, does he not find that there is the unemployment in the United Kingdom? Does he not know of the excessive deficit position of the UK? Does he not care that inflation in Britain is greater than it is in the Eurozone, and that sterling is a fragile currency?
I have to say, Mr. Duff, at the time, in the mid-1990s, some of the class greeted my views with some scepticism. I still now go back to the occasional reunion dinner, and most of them come up to me and say, "By God, Goddess, you were right." Yeah, and I am. By God, I was right in spades, wasn't I?
Bene, andiamo avanti.